K 哥今天是不是又偷懒带我们来同一个地方啊？
没有。
K 哥今天是不是又来带我采访富邦的洋将啊？
没有。
K 哥最近是不是又胖了啊？
没有啦。Hi OJ. Hey, come on. Okay, go. Let me ask you back. Let me ask you back. Come on, come on. Calm down. Hold on. Don't slide like that. Hey, Kevin. Hey, don't ever let him slide on you like that, all right? Don't never. They just walk off like it's on. No, sir. 今天我们又再一次的很幸运的可以访问到这个全美国最厉害，当时是最厉害的高中生 OJ Mayo. Hi, OJ.
How you doing? 你好。
你好. Oh, pretty good. Better than mine. Chinese. Okay. But anyways, OJ, thank you for being with us. And also, I think a lot of fans out there know you were like the #1 high school player, but they didn't know you played 6 years of high school varsity basketball.
Right.
Now, how did you play varsity as a 7th grader?
So, quick story. So, when I was in 7th grade, the start of 7th grade year, I was playing 7th grade basketball.
Right.
And we were winning by like 30 or 40 points. I couldn't play the second half because, you know, we were winning so bad. So teams felt like, oh, we're trying to run up the score or showboat or whatnot. And so in the state of Kentucky, in the United States, middle school basketball players can play varsity.
Right.
Yeah, if you're good enough, if, you know, the coach feels like you're strong enough, you won't get hurt. And if you can help the team, and I had the opportunity to practice the varsity team a couple of times, and the coach felt like I could come and start and help the team. And so I had to convince my mom to let me play against 16, 17, and 18-year-olds at the age of 13. And so, you know, my coach had sat down with her, and he felt that it was best for me to continue growing as a basketball player, and for me to just get better, and the recognition will help me ultimately in the long run.
Right. Just help me or help us understand. A 13-year-old playing against high school kids and varsity at that. How tall were you? What was your stature, or were you like have some incredible hops, or just skill-wise you were kicking people's butt?
I mean, at that time I was very athletic. I had a lot of skills. I practically lived in the gym, and I was about like 6'1", 6'1 and a half.
As 13-year-old.
As a 13-year-old, yeah. Okay. So I was tall enough, and I felt like I probably was on the same basketball IQ level as a high school senior or junior. Just putting in so much work in the summertime, playing travel basketball, and I always played up. I always played against older kids.
Right.
Whether I was playing on the outside court on the playground or playing in little leagues around the way, I always played up. So, and actually, a bunch of my friends were on the varsity team that I would play against all the time. And so I would have my shares of wins and everything. So they wanted me to play. Yeah.
So, as a 13-year-old, you averaged about 20 points?
Yeah, 27 points.
27 points as a 13-year-old play against high school varsity?
Yeah.
Wow. I was talking to Chuck, you know. He said when he was freshman in high school, he was 5'7".
Oh, really?
So I was better than him actually as a freshman.
5'8".
I was taller than you. But you kicked my butt when you were 13.
Yeah, man. I was quite gifted.
Okay, so after junior high age, then you move on to the real high school, you know, not in Kentucky anymore. Right. So did you go to out of state, a different state to play?
I moved to Ohio, and it's actually like a tri-state area, all separated by the Ohio River.
Right.
You have Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia all very close, depending on which bridge you take, which road you take. And I went to Ohio from the 8th grade until my 11th grade.
Right.
And that was quite an experience. Ohio basketball was hot at the time. And you had guys like LeBron James.
Right.
A bunch of guys that went to Ohio State. It was just a hotbed for ball players at the time.
Conley.
Yeah, Mike Conley. You had
Greg Oden.
Greg Oden. And so you had a bunch of guys like Andrew Lavender. You know, he was really good. He ended up going to Oklahoma was a big-time point guard.
Right.
And so with that being said, you know, it was, we went there basically for the competition. It was a lot of the top players in the country were there. And, you know, it was a great opportunity for me.
So you're basically playing 6 years of high school basketball and won Mr. Basketball in 2 different states.
Yeah.
What kind of accolade is that?
It was cool.
Did anybody accumulated your high school scoring of the total points? You're probably the most point scorer high school student ever.
Yeah, I'm probably up there just with how many years I played, for sure, yeah.
Right. So after high school comes a tough choice.
Right.
Can you tell me why you decided to go to USC rather than stay maybe in the East Coast? Because back then, maybe, you know, like you said, Ohio State was a big school back then.
For sure.
Or like Duke or Kentucky, and these are like elite schools. Why you choose USC?
Yeah, for sure. Well, at the time, Ohio State was going on probation. They had some stuff going on with the basketball player. I think he was from overseas or something, and they weren't allowed to play in the tournament that following year after Mike Conley and Greg Oden left. And then with Kentucky, they were kind of in transformation with Billy Gillispie leaving and getting in a new coach. And so it wasn't the perfect timing. I always wanted to go to Duke, but they had a bunch of guys stay over for the sophomore season. You know, you had like John Schreier, they had signed Nolan Smith. They had a bunch of guys from the previous team come back, and so Coach K kind of promised them the opportunity to, you know, give them a lot more playing time, and he felt like me coming there would compromise the promise he made to them, and so it just wouldn't be the perfect fit for me or for them. You know what I'm saying? Which he's a loyal coach, so I understood, and so I was like, I went to visit USC, and they had a new Galen Center. LA is a great town. I had goals of just going for 1 year, and so I was like, why not go to LA for 1 year and play for USC?
Sounds good. You know, I grew up in Southern California too. You know, I go to if I can go to USC, I'll go there for dental school or something.
Right.
But you know, play basketball at USC is great, right?
Yeah, and then
all the exposure.
And when I signed, they had it was the year when I signed that year. They went to the Sweet 16, so they had Nick Young. They had Gabe Pruitt, they had Taj Gibson, they had Daniel Hackett. He's a big-time star in Italy right now on the national team. And so I signed early, and then later on that year, they went to the Sweet 16, and 3 guys went to the NBA. And so it kind of messed up what we felt like we would have my freshman year, but I understood. They had great years, and they got an opportunity to make money and take care of their family. You know, I was happy for them. But I still enjoyed myself there in LA.
You know, I did my homework. I looked over the USC website and said, your favorite player, you're inspired by Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, I'm sorry for your loss because, you know, he is a loss for everybody in the entire basketball world. You know, how did you met Kobe Bryant? How did you meet him? And how did he inspire you?
Yeah, so I was 16 years old.
Okay.
And it was I went to play in the against Michael Jordan. Right. You know the whole story about that. And then Kobe Bryant had a camp the following week. Okay. And so I didn't go to the camp, but the last 2 days he would play a pickup game with the people from the camp and, you know, some NBA guys, some college guys, kind of the same thing that Michael did. And I played against him, and I played well, competed well. We lost by 1 point, and that was my first time meeting him. And I sat down and talked to him for like 30, 40 minutes, and he's just telling me, you know, about keeping my body in shape, and the mental preparation is far more important than just the physical preparation. But if you could do both of those at a high level, that you know, I have an opportunity to be successful.
So he's always very serious about training and.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, sometimes I see you doing that low post and fadeaway jumper. Is that kind of inspired by Kobe's moves?
Yeah, a lot, man. When I was my freshman, sophomore, and junior year of high school, I had a buddy of mine. He lived in LA, and he was real cool with the video coordinator for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Right.
They would send me all the game film of Kobe
Right.
from those years, and I would just watch him fall asleep, watch him wake up watching it, and so it was kind of what I would do. When I was younger.
Were you able to train with him sometimes?
Yeah, a couple of times. We had the same agent in Rob Pelinka, and yeah, a couple of times we definitely got some work in. But he would like work out like at 6 in the morning, and I wasn't accustomed. I wasn't accustomed to that. But he actually works on the same move probably for like 2 hours.
Same move for 2 hours?
Yes.
You know why I got gained to this weight? Because I eat for maybe 2 hours straight. But I see you in great shape right now.
Yeah.
When you walked in, I thought it's that OJ that was, signing up for an NBA draft, that 19, 20-year-old OJ, because you look like you're in great shape. So, maybe you're not working on the same move for 2 hours, but what have you been doing to prepare for ABL?
Here with Fuban, the culture, we put in a lot of work. We practice twice a day. We lift maybe 3 to 4 times a week. And then just being here with some of the veteran guys, myself as a veteran too, but some of the local guys who have been here for years, like Winston, you got Beast, you got Ding. Those guys are 34 and older and are in great shape. And so I really took a liking to that and an obsessive nature to try to follow their program, and it's kind of working out. My body feels good. Probably the best I've felt in the last 2 or 3 years. So
that's great. Thank you for spending time with us tonight.
No, thank you for having me anytime.
What's up, Taiwan basketball fans, Fuban Braves fans? Really like to thank you guys for supporting our team. I really enjoyed my first year here with Fuban Braves. I'm playing in front of the great Taiwan basketball fans, the Fuban Braves fans. It was just a tremendous opportunity, and it's just pretty sad that we couldn't finish the season the way we wanted due to the coronavirus. But safety is first, and we will be back to fight again, and we'll be back to pursue an ABL title and bring it home here to Taiwan. Thank you much.